Hey guys, Orly here, founder of LifeVestInside, and I want to thank each and every one of you for deciding to kick off your week with me on the weekly Kindness Kickoff with Orly, coming at you every Monday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, where I do a reading from my book, Kindness Boomerang, How to Save the World and Yourself Through 365 Daily Acts. And then I give all of us, including myself, an exciting kindness challenge for the week. Before I get to the book, though, a couple of announcements. So, number one, please take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to be uploading things on a regular basis, especially now with Dance for Kindness coming. Loads of exciting content coming your way. So click the subscribe button to show us some love and to be the first to receive all the videos that are going to be uploaded. Second thing, we have a couple of newsletters that we send out, and I'd love to get you guys involved. One of them is called The Daily Kind, and it goes out every day from Monday through Friday. It's a short 30-second read to kickstart your day with kindness. So each email comes with an act of kindness, a positive affirmation, an inspirational quote, and then a kindness media, something positive that's going on in the world, so that we could start training our eyes to see the good as opposed to all the negative. The other newsletter that goes out is called the Kindness Flash, and it goes out once a month in the beginning of the month. And every single Kindness Flash is focused on a different theme to do with kindness. One month we've had gratitude or hope, and every single Kindness Flash comes with an act of the month and a quote of the month, a book of the month, a song of the month, a story of the month, and so on and so forth, all to do with that theme. And then on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, Jason and I, you can join us for the Kindness Flash with Jason and Orly, where we discuss the theme for that specific month. So you can check that out. It's really easy to sign up for our newsletters. We're getting so much positive feedback. All you have to do is go to LifeVestInside.com, and in the top right corner, you're going to see a sign up button. Click it. And when you do, you'll have the option to sign up for either one or both of the newsletters. All right, one last exciting announcement before we get right into the book. Dance for Kindness registration just opened like a few hours ago. That means that wherever you are around the world right now, you can go to danceforkindness.com, and you'll be able to register for our amazing event that's coming up on Sunday, November 11th. A couple of the locations are going to be happening on either a day before or a day after due to various national holidays in the different countries where the event is happening. But it's all going to be around that same exact time, and I'd love for you to join. What is Dance for Kindness? For those of you that don't know, it's a worldwide flash mob that takes place all across the globe on the same day to the same song and the same dance, showing that regardless of our differences, kindness is the common thread that unites us all. So definitely check it out. It is super exciting. Once you register to take part, you'll receive the link to the Learn to Dance page, where you have the dance tutorial video, and your group leader, which is basically the organizer in your city, will reach out to you to provide you with additional information in terms of rehearsals and so on and so forth. It's spectacular. If you don't think so still, check out a video from our YouTube channel, or go on to danceforkindness.com and see what it's all about. I hope to see you guys there. All right, now on to the book. I have to tell you, I always seem to laugh every time when I am about to do the Kindness Kickoff, because I've chosen the topics for the Kindness Kickoff already a few months ago. And once I open it up, once I take a look at which reading I was doing for the week, it always seems to fit so perfectly for what's going on in my life. I don't know if you guys have found that happening for you, but I definitely find that happening for me. For those of you, first of all, that don't have the book, Kindness Boomerang, it's a lesson-a-day book in kindness. So every single day of the year has an act, a quote, like an inspirational quote, and then like a short reflection on the power of paying it forward, showing you how you can incorporate these simple things into your life to really make a difference. Kindness, you don't need me to tell you what kindness is. We all know what kindness is. It's about increasing our awareness. So when we see something, or when someone tells us a specific act, our awareness is now increased so that we're more likely to be able to take part in actually accomplishing that action. Just because it was spoken about, just because we read it. That's the whole idea of mindfulness and of simply just reading. It's the simple things that we do, but it's also taking those things that we read and putting them into practice right away. And so the reading from today comes from October 14th. For those of you that don't have a copy of the book and you want to get it, you can actually purchase it on Amazon, on IndieBound, iTunes, Barnes & Noble, Target. So you'll have the option to get it from many places. When you actually purchase it, proceeds from the book go directly to LifeVestInside, to our nonprofit that's geared towards spreading kindness in the world. So you continue to help us. We've had this being used a lot in schools as a resource as well as in companies. So perhaps the school that your kids go to, or the school where you might be attending, or the company where you work may potentially be interested in incorporating this amazing resource into their daily activities. So check that out. The reading for today is coming from October 14th. And for me, the act is very much pertaining, sorry for the background noise happening right now. The act is pertaining very much to something going on in my own life right now. And it says here, work can be frustrating, and we all have tough days. Take a moment to breathe. A small breath can bring things right back into perspective. I think we sometimes, breathing seems like such a natural thing, but sometimes we actually forget to take a breath because we're constantly in motion. We're constantly moving from the next thing to the next to the next. Having goals that we want to achieve is amazing, but it's important to also breathe in between those goals, in between pursuing those goals. Otherwise, what is it really worth? The quote here comes from Hugh Walpole, and the quote is, "Happiness comes from some curious adjustment to life." It's really, really interesting here. Because happiness is not something that you just are continuously living in. If happiness is only going to come from when you achieve a specific thing or attain something specifically, then it can be just as fleeting. But it's really interesting here. It says a curious adjustment to life. Happiness is not something that we're constantly pursuing. We have to continuously adjust with life so that happiness is always a part of what our life is. The reflection. Every person is a conduit to bring something special into the world. The more we care for our conduit, the more goodness can flow through it to reach its destination. I had just gotten back from a 12-hour flight, feeling exhausted and dirty. All I wanted to do was take a nice warm shower. When I got home, I turned my shower on and was disappointed to see that the water was just dripping out of the shower head. I told my dad that we had a water pressure issue, but after a bit of careful examination, turns out it had nothing to do with the pressure. My dad explained that the shower head just needed a good cleaning. A cleaning? I thought. He said to me, "You can up the pressure as much as you want, but that won't make more water come out of the nozzle without a cleaning." With the continuous flow of water over time, mineral deposits build up in the shower head, causing the nozzle to clog up. Life is hectic. With all the running around, the continuous strain we place on ourselves, we need a moment to take a breath and refresh, allowing us to clear out all the wear and tear that builds up with daily stresses. We may want to turn the pressure up in hopes that it will help us produce, but often the greatest cure is nothing more than a breather. So this definitely hits home for me so much, especially because the past, 72 hours, it's been more than 72 hours, but at least the past 72 hours have been extremely, extremely tense because Dance for Kindness, we just launched Dance for Kindness registration a few hours ago, and there was so much that has to go into it, and just the stress and the pressure with it launching so late. And just the work stress, even though it's great work, I love what I do. It's this thing that wakes me up every single morning. But sometimes when we're constantly pushing ourselves forward, we could think we needed to turn the pressure up. We just need to keep on going, keep on going. But oftentimes just taking a breather, stopping for a moment, going for a short 5-minute walk in the midst of the chaos that happens to be going on around you actually does a lot more help. It's much easier said than done. So I'm not going to say, oh, it's so simple, you all should be doing it, this is the simplest thing ever. No, it's hard. I find myself struggling with this as well. And actually, just before I created this video, as I was coming into the apartment building, I bumped into an amazing person that I met here during my few months here in Jerusalem, who's been such a support, truly such a support. And she said to me, "Orly, did you call the neurologist?" Why'd she ask me this? I've been suffering with severe migraines for the past 7 years after getting into a really bad car accident. But they've been getting worse and worse and worse. And the past few weeks, they've been just unbearable, where I had to go to the hospital. It's really not good. And I met with her last week, and I was telling her about it. She goes, "Okay, so I'm going to give you this number, and you're going to call, and you're going to make an appointment." And so I see her, and she's like, "Orly, so did you call the neurologist?" And I said, "I didn't, because, we had this." She goes, listen, I was thinking to call for you. It's just that I was even speaking to my husband. He said, oh, and he said to me, if it's bad enough, she's going to call. She's a big girl. She has to do it. She has to care enough for her own body, for her own vessel. And the truth is she's right, and he's right. Very often we don't realize the body that we have is super powerful. Everything that we bring into this world comes because of our body, because of what we're able to bring with our hands, with our mind, with our words, with our thoughts. But when we don't care for our vessel, then what happens? What happens when we're not feeling well? When you're hit with a crazy migraine, you know what happens? You know what happens to me, I'll tell you. I'm in bed crying in complete and utter pain. But if we remember that pain, in a sense, when we're feeling good, we'll remember to continuously take care of our body. So, for example, drinking some water, which I don't do enough of. So it's very important. The biggest test, and I'm going to take this test on myself over the course of this week, taking care of our vessel, taking a breather. For me, this week, that's going to translate into drinking more water, because I don't drink enough. So I want to start drinking 4 of these bottles a day. That's a big deal for me. I know some of you are like, Orly, you're supposed to drink like 8 of them. I don't know, people have these crazy numbers. I'm going to take on myself drinking 4 bottles this week. And I'm going to keep track of it, and I'm going to let you guys know what happens over the course of this week. I'm also going to actually make the doctor's appointment this week. Maybe the appointment isn't going to be this week, but I'm going to make that phone call. I'm going to also go to sleep at a reasonable hour. Reasonable means like 1 a.m. the latest, because it's been like 4 a.m., which is crazy. So for me, these are 3 things that I'm going to take on over the course of this week to take a breather and care a little bit more for my vessel. Question is, what are you going to take on? The only way to actually make these improvements in our lives is to keep ourselves accountable. That means write it down. I right now just kept myself accountable. Why? Because I told it to you guys. Which means next week when I make this video, I'm going to have to answer for what happened over the course of this week. Maybe you have a friend that you can have keep you accountable to do certain things. Or simply get a notepad. Take a notepad out, open it up, write down what are a few things, small, really tiny, that you're going to do over the course of this week to care more for your vessel, or to take a breather, to take a little bit of space for yourself. And look at it each and every day. Just look at it, read it. Okay, I'm supposed to do this, I know. Because again, like we spoke about, the whole idea behind the concept of this book, it's about awareness. So if you see something constantly every day in your notebook, you're going to become more aware so that you can actually make those changes. So I'm going to be heading out there doing that. I hope to hear back from you guys. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Check out danceforkindness.com. Dance registration is open. The event is on November 11th. And don't forget to get your copy of the Kindness Boomerang book so that you can begin to become a little bit more mindful in your own life. Thank you guys so much for taking part in this amazing Kindness Kickoff, because honestly, it gives more to me than I can begin to explain. Love you all. Mwah.